terms of relations between France and Germany?
Well, it proposes to change less than they hoped it might propose just a few years ago. I think both Angela Merkel and Emmanuel Macron are well aware of the forces that you described just now, pulling Europe in different directions, and the idea of having a huge degree more integration between France, Germany, and indeed the rest of the EU. If that was an aspiration just a few years ago, they've had to water it down somewhat, not least because of Brexit, but because clearly there are different forces at work right across Europe. The far left, the far right is rising in countries around Europe, and they've realised that full-on integration is not going to be possible in the way that perhaps they thought it would. But they are continuing with the treaty signing. It's taking place in what is a pretty magnificent town hall here in Aachen, a tri-point of three different countries. What's really interesting in this square, if we spin around, is that we really rather have Europe summed up in one square. The people you can see here with their blue balloons are very much supporting the idea of further integration for Europe. They're here to support Angela Merkel, to support the French president as well. But then kept rather separately in the corner over here, sadly they're quiet now, they were rather more vocal a little bit earlier on before you came to us, are people who are much more worried about the speed, even though it has slowed down somewhat, the speed of integration for Europe. I want to have a quick chat with one guy who we were talking to earlier. Henrik, you're live on Sky. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Just tell me why you're here and why you're concerned about what's going on in that building.
Yeah, we are here to protest against Macron and Merkel because the way they are changing Europe is not the idea of Europe. Europe is an economic platform that everybody can work together with, and not that kind of Europe that the elite is saying what we have to do. Every country should have the right to say if they want this or that, but not Europe.
So just to be clear, are you against the European Union as a project, or are you just against the speed of integration that you perceive is happening?
No, I'm against the way Europe is going the way right now. It's not the way of how democracy works. You see it I was in Paris 1 month ago. 75% of the people in France saying, we don't want Macron as our president. And if Macron would be a good person and want the will of the people, he would say, okay, I'm going away, they don't want me, and that's democracy. But he's staying and attacking his people with, as you see here right now, also with machine guns on the roofs, on the tops.
Yeah, we can see. I mean, clearly there are world leaders here, so you would expect security.
Yeah.
I'm interested. So you're wearing a yellow vest.
Right.
You're a Gilets Jaunes, but you're not, because you're German. But you support the cause of the yellow vests in France.
Yeah, I think the yellow vests are not just only a France project. It's a worldwide project. You see it also in Canada happening. That the people don't want an elite which are taking the money of the poor people or of the people on the middle class. They want how it works in France right now, that the people are saying, we want this, and if the president just don't listen to them, he has to go. And so we are standing here because we are saying it's our right, it's our country, and we say what's happening, and not one single person which thinks he has the right to do everything he wants.
Henrik, thank you very much indeed. I wish we had time to talk to all of you. We don't, sadly, but we'll come back to you later perhaps. So